And pardon me if this question's been asked before, Dr. Clancy. I know Senator Baldwin and I have shared interest in this area. So you and I have talked and had opportunities, and you came down to Beckley and met with all of our the directors of our VA facilities, and I'm still very appreciative of that. But the scourge of opioids that's devastating our state, particularly within our veterans population, we've talked about steps that you're taking at the VA for overprescribing and more transparency. If you could just give me an update on how that's going and any changes that you might be making or what you're seeing across the veterans population in this area.
So what we're seeing in the state of West Virginia is that 3 of the 4 facilities have made substantial progress, not quite as much as the Toma VA, but significant decreases in the proportion of veterans on chronic opioids, as well as the proportion of veterans on both a benzodiazepine and a narcotic medication, and that progress has continued. So even the last quarter reflects improvements in the ballpark of 14%, 11, and 10% for those 3 facilities. The one facility that actually never had a very high rate, although they have reduced somewhat, is our Martinsburg. But they haven't backtracked or suddenly developed a new surge, which I think is good news.
Are you employing so in place of those prescriptions, are you as a system looking at alternative treatments for pain? What types of research are you finding there, or what kinds of things are working? Are nerve blocks or different kinds of options that we've heard about? Yes,
we make a wide array of options available, from yoga and Tai Chi to massage. Acupuncture is very, very helpful for many people. Not everything is available everywhere, but
Right.
We now have a way of tracking that much more closely than we had. And a couple of years ago, Dr. Shulkin, as undersecretary, actually hired a national director for complementary and integrative health interventions, which has helped a huge array of veterans. We're also funding research with the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health at the National Institutes of Health, trying to figure out how can we more precisely target those interventions. Right now, it's a little bit of you can try this and maybe that will help and so forth. What would be lovely would be to know how to be a little bit more precise with that on an individual basis for veterans out of the gate. But I think it's a hugely promising area.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too, and I think I'm curious, sort of in the back of my mind, since we're so oriented to prescriptions, if I'm sure there's some pushback at certain points from some veterans who feel like they their pain's not going to get alleviated any other way. But I'm glad to know that you're dealing with that.